Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we visit a kennels near Hull where pooches are well and truly pampered. And tonight's guest is David McCormick, here to help us get through Christmas with some useful advice. And the full Monty stars Gary Lucy and Andrew Dunn talk to Emma about stripping on stage. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Richards. Time now for the news headlines.
MPs from our region voted on Wednesday night on whether the UK should join US-led coalition airstrikes against so-called Islamic State militants in Syria. The government motion was passed 397 to 223 after a 10-hour debate in the House of Commons. Hull North MP Diana Johnson voted against, as did Carl Turner representing Hull East, Melanie On for Great Grimsby and also Halton Price and Howden's David Davis. West Hull and Hessel MP Alan Johnson voted for strike action, as did Andrew Percy for Brigg and Goole. Cleethorpes MP Martin Vickers abstained. We asked people in Grimsby what they thought of the decision.
Yeah, well, they say it's Syria, but it's IS, isn't it, really? And I think the problem is they're going to bomb here anyway, aren't they? So I think they may as well go over there and do it, yeah.
I'm a bit worried about it, and I think they should think of other ways of bringing it all to an end, more of discussion and trying to work together.
I think that it's a good idea. I think that's what we should do. We should send ground troops in as well, actually.
Hull's Music Library is opened following a full revamp. Hull City Council received £363,000 from the James Reckitt Library Trust to refurbish part of the central library. Improvements include a new performance and study space, electric pianos and a range of computers where people can compose their own music. We spoke to the chair of the James Reckitt Trust, Dr Richard Hesseltine.
The public library service in this city is a great one, and it's going to be really well showcased, I think, in City of Culture. Something like this music library is a sign, I think, of the aspiration that the city has.
Someone has stepped in to save Christmas in the Great Coats Village. Last year, festive celebrations were in danger of not going ahead when the parish council would not fund a tree. Well, this year they are funding it, but the Great Coats Community Group was left to stump up £200 in insurance costs until an anonymous benefactor came forward.
Yeah, this is really great. Somebody has mysteriously donated all the money that we need and all the help that we need to be able to get the insurance, get the Christmas tree, get someone with the public liability to put the tree up. And as you said, you just passed it and it's up, the lights are on and it's looking great.
And that's the latest from the news.
It's certainly a dog's life for any animal that visits a kennels near Hull, where they have access to music, films and, maybe not quite so surprisingly, heating. Dan Kemp went to see why man's best friend is treated like royalty.
They're dog kennels, but not as you know them. Each of Home From Home Pet Care's new luxury kennels has been installed with a state-of-the-art digital radio. So if it's Mozart or One Direction, holidaying hounds can relax and unwind the way they want.
The owners can select a choice of music. They can even bring a USB, so they've got a choice of music that they want to bring from home, even record their own voices as well. The reason we do that is that brings familiarity into kind of the kennel environment, so the dogs feel reassured as soon as they get in to kind of stay with us. If our customers request kind of Radio 2 or classical or any kind of sounds that they're familiar with at home, then we can set that in the kennel.
It's all part of a wider redevelopment that saw the luxury hillside kennels open back in the summer and also includes underfloor heating.
Developing kind of outside category units. At the minute we have pods, which are like little perspex conservatories they can sit and sunbathe in. But next year we're going to have kind of outside units which go have hammocks and dried sapling trees for them to kind of climb as well. So that's further investment.
Gemma Salvage is the dog training manager at the site and says the new facilities boost what she can offer, especially at a time when people are juggling more and more hectic lifestyles.
We do the residential training packages, and that's when the dogs get to stay in the hillside accommodation. We are finding it very popular. People don't have the time that they used to have now to train their dogs, so they're finding it helpful for us to sort of get some groundwork in for them and then help them along the way to then continue it further at home.
Kennels cat has always been kind of popular. I think standards have increased somewhat, and that just comes down to the way we view our pets. They're much more family, part of the family now than they were maybe kind of 10, 20 years ago. But yeah, we want to kind of treat our guests as guests, so we want to give them as much comfort and as much hands-on as we possibly can. At the end of the day, they get butler service here, they get to relax in the kennel, we do everything for them, and yeah, we like to think that we give them a really, really settled, enjoyable stay.
And if there's a story you'd like us to look into, then please contact the news team either through the Facebook or Twitter pages, or email news@estuary.tv, or call 01472 3155553 and let us know what's happening in your area. Still to come tonight, Gary, Lucy and Andrew Dunn talk to Emma about starring in the full Monty. Another dog searches for its forever home in Dog of the Week, and we have the latest in local sports news. Christmas is meant to be a time when family and friends come together to celebrate comfort and joy. For some, it's a very different and stressful time, marred by arguments. Hopefully, my next guest will be able to offer some helpful advice to help you get through this festive period. He is David McCormick, a personal and team development consultant who's going to tell us how to survive Christmas by understanding the needs of your personality type. David, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Understanding, well, how to avoid arguments at Christmas.
Yep.
It's almost part of the tradition, though, isn't it? And Christmas without an argument isn't really Christmas.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How do we avoid it, though? We have to understand ourselves a bit better.
Absolutely. One of the things is, if we can understand that people behave in predictable ways, we can begin to modify our own behaviour and expectations so that we can manage those relationships better. But it's all, the key is understanding the predictability.
So how do you do that if you have a family member, somebody who most of the rest of the year you love perfectly well because you don't have to spend all day with them probably? How do you work out what is predictable about their behaviour and how you should handle that?
Okay, well, I've worked with groups and individuals for over 20 years looking at personality profiling and how that can help us. And it's about learning the predictability about how people respond. So there are different types. There are lots of different models we can use, but one that I would recommend as a kind of seasonal starter, if you like, is what we call the DISC model. And that's simple to understand, it's simple to use, and it's based on observable differences in people's normal behaviour.
And that breaks people, to make massive generalisations here, of course, but there are sort of 4 types that are probably blended in most of us. But if you just very quickly take us through those 4
very quickly. There's 4 basic types. So what I'd say to people is, think about the people you know. It's observable. Do you know anybody who's really assertive? They're to the point and want to know the bottom line in any situation. You know, just some people are much more forceful, direct, and strong-willed than others. We'd call that the D type. That's the dominance type. Again, do you know anybody who's a great communicator and really friendly to everybody that they meet? You can look around and you see that people are...
Happy to say, I know lots like
that.
Yeah, yes.
Some people are just much more optimistic, much more inspiring, friendly and talkative. Those we call the I types. They work by influence. And then think about your family, perhaps. You know, is there anybody in your family you would say is a really good listener, someone who's a great team player? You know, we have people in life who are very supportive, very patient with others, very loyal and practical in terms of how they support other people. And then finally, you might know people who love gathering information, facts, details. You know, they're very much more precise, methodical and analytical about their approach.
I'd like to think those are the people I work with.
Really?
But,
so you may well have those. So those would be the 4 basic building types of DISC.
Those D types, the dominant types, they sound like an absolute bloody nightmare.
Well, I mean, they can have their moments, particularly if we're thinking about stress, but they release a huge amount of energy and a sense of determination and decisiveness in getting things done. They're the kind of the drivers of the personality types. They've got a lot of energy that they want to share and move things on, but in a stress situation, that can be a bit of a handful.
Now, the point is that we can be, by knowing this, having this insight, we can be aware of their needs and their requirements.
Yeah.
How do we make them aware of our needs and our requirements. I suppose you have to have a little bit of self-knowledge about which type you are.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is for everybody to begin with who they are themselves and being able to articulate and have some understanding of what their needs are, what they find helpful, what they find not so helpful, and having the confidence to share that. So we'd always say it starts with self-knowledge, start with changing ourselves, not trying to change others. And strangely enough, if we can do that, then actually it does have a beneficial effect in influencing others positively.
There are certain things that are utterly unovercomable about Christmas, though. There is, the drunken relative who always recites every line in The Great Escape just before Richard Attenborough does. I mean, these things are intolerable, but also what you just have to live with it.
Yep, absolutely. There are some things that we have to say, well, they're going to happen, but other things we can manage, other things we can influence.
And avoid the traditional Christmas afternoon game of Trivial Pursuit.
Well, yes, you could do that, but some people will put some pressure on you to do
know,
it.
That's the problem.
The thing that's fun.
It's impossible, isn't it?
So it's about understanding. And if you need a bit of space, if you're one of those people that actually wants to hunker down with a good scotch and a book, then take the time, give yourself that time off. But also remember, other people are going to want to draw you in and share some fun.
It's about imagining what everybody else is going through that day as well.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, David. Thank you very much for coming in, and thank you for that help, which will, I hope, make my family Christmas much happier than usual.
Well, let's hope so.
Stay with us, as coming up after the break, we catch up with the full Monty stars Gary Lucy and Andrew Dunn, fully clothed, of course, and Another Dog Needs a New Home, and we'll bring you all the latest in local sports news and results. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, can you give this dog a home? And we'll have the latest local sports news and results. The full Monty stage play has been on a UK tour for the last year, and its final week sees it in Grimsby. If you remember the BAFTA award-winning film, you'll recall it tells the tale of 6 unemployed Sheffield steelworkers who decide to form a strip troupe to raise money. Former Hollyoaks heartthrob Gary Lucy plays the lead role, and Andrew Dunn from Dinner Ladies is Gerald. Emma Lingard caught up with them.
This is the final week, isn't it, of the tour? Final week in Grimsby. How has it gone so far for you?
Gone well, hasn't it? I mean, as you were there the first night and you saw the reaction we got, and last night's audience loved it as well, so it's going well.
I mean, it's just different levels of it. Wherever we go, it's always been busy. It's always, really well sold, and it just depends how mad they get towards the end of the week, But to be honest, by the end of the week, I'm kind of hoping that they are mad, because you need that extra little kind of bit of energy to see you through. When I say mad, I don't mean like running on the stage and like rugby tackling you to the floor mad, which, there's been a few people that have been thrown out. Yeah, they get a bit excited, yeah. But no, it's great, and we're looking forward to the last week. Obviously, we're gonna thoroughly enjoy it.
When that curtain comes down for the final time, and that probably will be it. I mean, are you expected that you'll come back next year, or are you moving on?
You never know. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, you never say no. It's always see what happens. You don't know what you're doing that far ahead. You see, you might be doing something else, and you're not available to do the next tour.
So there's no, any tears shed at the end?
Not from me.
Oh well. He'd be straight out the door.
I'm off home, mate. No, it's quite sad, because you've been sort of living together for a year, haven't you? Yeah. Touring the country, so it is a bit like leaving people, and you don't necessarily see them again.
I mean, I've cried on most of my jobs that I've done for a period of time when I've left. When it's been finished, when it's over. But I think with this one, I said to the young boy who plays Nathan, because one of them's been on it since the beginning. I said, because one of the boys left last week and he was crying and whatever. Yeah. I said, I want tears out of you. I want real tears out of you on Friday. He was like, I'm not going to be crying. I don't care. I went, I want tears, real tears, or I'll make you cry. No, I think we'll all kind of happily settle back into our normal lives, and then give it a couple of weeks and be going, oh, what are we doing? Where are the boys?
Because like you say, it's a big thing. You've got your last few nights to play here, and then hopefully people might see you again on stage. Well, is it something you want to return to, the theatre then? Have you enjoyed it?
I've thoroughly enjoyed it, yeah. as I say, I don't know whether it wouldn't be the same, obviously, but you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a completely different experience from doing telly and that. Different discipline and a different kind of buzz, really. So.
Before we do go, I was cheated on Monday night.
Oh yeah,
I was cheated because those curtains closed before the final.
They came in very quick.
Final last little bit. Is there any chance of
a little bit? Yeah.
Any chance of a repeat performance?
Yeah. Can't see Andrew. He's if you ask him nicely.
I haven't got my thong on.
And we'll have more from Emma and her strippers after Dog of the Week.
Dog number 117 is a Ridgeback cross. Male is a mature, so he's clean and very friendly in the kennel. All right to walk, very nice dog.
And back to the auditorium now, where Emma's still doing the Full Monty.
Full Monty there, it's a fabulous play. There's so much humour, but there's that undertone as well, because there's so many different themes coming in of homelessness and depression. But it has that humour. I mean, what's it like for you as actors? Because it sounds to me like it's an emotional roller coaster.
There's a lot of humour in it, and it's that sort of working class type of humour which comes out when things are bad. So we have a lot of laughs doing it, but as you said, there is all this social problems underneath, and the laughter just is covering that, really.
I mean, Gary, you obviously playing the lead role of Gaz there. I mean, do you find, is it a drain every night? I mean, you've been doing this for a year, haven't you, of playing that?
I mean, there's a lot of energy used up out on the stage, I know that much. I mean, he was about 20 stone before he started. Yeah. No, it's a really physical show for all of us, and you know, a lot of adrenaline is used as well, so it is exhausting. But it's a fantastic show, and to be honest, the audiences that we get are just phenomenal, and you can't help but kind of get some of their kind of, you know, energy and enthusiasm as well, really. And you know, as you said, we do have a laugh, and it's a great script and a great fun night. So. You know, we enjoy it.
I mean, what attracted you both then to the roles that you play?
As an actor, you never know what you're going to do, so this came along, and to be honest, I wasn't going to do it because I thought, do I want to be taking my clothes off at my age? It's ridiculous. Who wants to see that? But my wife said I'm doing it, so I had to do it.
That's all the deprived women out there that wouldn't have got to see Andrew in his glory. Yeah. For me, I mean, I just thought it was a great opportunity. You know, it's David Pugh Limited that put it on, who did Calendar Girls, Art, etc. And you know, Full Monty, great film, and you know, I went to see it in the West End, and just thought, you know, what a great opportunity to play.
One of your first stage.
It is my first stage, yeah. Yeah. So if you're going to do it,
making your debut, taking your clothes off.
Yeah, I mean there is that part to it, but you know, we are hopeful that, you know, that the lighting guy does his job properly, which hasn't always happened, and when it does happen, we're spared our blushes.
Is it true you were awarded Torso of the Week by Heat magazine once?
Once. Awarded what?
Torso of the Week, it's that part.
Oh, Torso of the Week. Oh.
I was Bachelor of the Year as well once upon a time. Notice I put once in there. But yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody knows the film The Full Monty, and it about the group of guys that obviously decide to find money by taking their clothes off. What is it like? And I know you'll get this question asked all the time, every night on that stage, taking your kit off.
To be honest, it's right at the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something.
So you got like, I mean, some audiences, some places we've been to, you can kind of sense from them on a Saturday night full of hen nights and that they're going, well, what's happening? Like, you know, we've been here like an hour and 50 minutes, we haven't seen any bits and pieces yet. But you know, fortunately, most of the time you can kind of feel them on that journey with you, and by the end of it, it's just a big kind of, you know, big in some cases, big reaction to it, and it's like the payoff, really, because if they've been on the journey with you and they've really kind of bought into the story, then by the end of it, they're just gagging for you to do it.
You really clearly see there's a chemistry between all of you as well, that you've been on the stage for a year, you've bonded.
We've bonded.
We've bonded, yeah. For such a big company, actually, it's quite rare we all go.
Yeah.
Really, we've had a really good tour, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was a bit of a cliche, and how do you all get on? Oh, we're like a family and all that. You know, you think, yeah, I'm sure, behind the scenes, but actually, if it is always like this, then you know I think it's great, which I don't think it is.
It's not always like this, no.
I think you know it's quite nice that everyone kind of does, all different ages, etc., and different backgrounds, but we just kind of get on.
And the full Monty can be seen at Grimsby Auditorium. The last night is this Saturday. Emma tells me it's a cracking play to watch, and it's been packed out most nights, so if you can, pop along. Time now for the sport.
Grimsby Town will get another chance to shine in front of the TV cameras on Monday night when Shrewsbury head to Blundell Park in the FA Cup third round. We spoke to Mariners boss Paul Hurst.
Shrewsbury know as well it's on TV, and the last thing they want to do is become the victim in front of the TV cameras and a wider audience. So I think that makes it a little bit more difficult. But at the same time, we're happy to be on TV. Obviously, there's a bit of a financial reward there as well. And it's a chance for our players to go and show what we're about.
Football banning orders among Hull City fans are at their lowest number for 20 years. Figures released by the Home Office found there were 16 arrests involving fans at games last season. Only Crystal Palace, Queen's Park Rangers and Southampton had fewer arrests. Elsewhere, Kenrick Park player from Alford, Ashton Turner, is among those who have been named in the England Golf men's squad for 2015-16. England Golf is a governing body for amateur golf in this country. It is named a much-changed squad after a number of players switched to the professional ranks. Turner, an England international, has been promoted from the A squad and will now look to progress his game as he weighs up if he will turn pro or not. Meanwhile, India Claiborne has been named in the England women's team. The Cleethorpes-based golfer plays out of Woodall Spa and is widely tipped to follow in the footsteps of her older sister Holly. India is the 2014 English Girls Champion. Until next time, goodbye.
That's it for tonight. Sorry I didn't wear that wig, Lily May Clapperson. If you have a news story, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01 472 31 553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
I want to see Grimsby put on the map.
Extraordinary qualities, unmatched in anywhere else in Britain.
We need to act with one voice.
I was absolutely shocked, I'll tell you the truth.
More police officer hours spent on patrol preventing crimes from happening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rick's Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Friday, a colder feel with increasingly strong winds, some bright intervals although cloud amounts tending to increase and isolated showers are possible with highs of 10 degrees. Saturday, gales or severe gales with heavy persistent rain.
Rick's, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at ricks.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.